What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So we're going to take a look at some more questions that you guys have regarding the Social Security Fairness Act. So we're going to focus on that in this video. But first off, you guys can do me a favor. Please like the video. And if you're watching this video and you want to see more content like this, please consider subscribing to the channel. Okay, next email is coming from Gerald. Gerald says, David, thank you for your videos. They are informative. I have not heard anyone ask this question yet regarding the retro checks. Have federal taxes been taken out? If not, people need to hold back for taxes that will be owed next time. Okay, so you are correct. When it comes to taxes, you can ask them to withhold your taxes, and some people do that. So when they send that retroactive check, it will have the taxes withheld, but you have to request that. And if you've requested it in the past and you're receiving your Social Security benefits and they're deducting your taxes, then you'll be fine. When they send that retro check, it's going to be the same. But you do have to request. Now, if you don't request it, then yes, you're going to have to hold some money and be aware that you're going to have to pay taxes on that at the end of the year. Okay, this email is coming from William. It says, good afternoon, David. I was affected by WEP and my wife was affected by GPO. After the bill passed rescinding WEP and GPO, my wife applied for spousal benefits. She received a retro payment for 6 months in the amount of $8,642.50. This was based on my monthly SSA amount before my WEP adjustment. My monthly payment was adjusted in March for April. I received a retro payment and my wife received a second retro payment in the amount of $823 based upon my new monthly SSA amount. I hope this helps explaining some people receiving 2 retro payments. Okay, this is great. And thank you very much, William, for sending this, because I have had some people that say, you know what, I've received 2 checks. Why am I receiving 2 checks? Something must be wrong. And so this explains it. So in William's situation, the retro check was as a result of his old numbers. But when they eliminated WEP and GPO, he was impacted because of elimination of WEP and GPO. So his amount under WEP went up. And so because his amount went up, now there's a difference between the old amount that he had and the new amount that he had, which would adjust the spousal benefits. And so in his situation and in his wife's situation, she received that extra check because they had to make those adjustments. So thank you for saying that, because I have had some people that have said, I received 2 checks. What's going on? Why is that happening? And this is a good example of why that could happen for you. Okay, next email is coming from Randall. Randall says, David, I enjoy your information on your YouTube channel. I have a question for you. I have paid into Social Security since I started working at the age of 16. I retired after working for a county government as a paramedic and law enforcement officer for 36 years of service. I am actively receiving a Social Security check since I turned 62, and I am receiving a pension for the Associated County Commission of Georgia. Today, I checked my SSA.gov page, and it indicated that my benefits will not change going forward, and obviously no indication of any back pay benefits. Does this indicate that I am not eligible for any additional benefits outlined in the Social Security Fairness Act? Sincerely, JR. Okay, so JR, in your situation, it looks like you might not qualify under the Social Security Fairness Act because you were paying into Social Security. And you said you've been paying into Social Security since age 16. The people who qualify under the Social Security Fairness Act, they were paying into a pension but not paying into Social Security. And so that's the reason why they're receiving the lump sum payment as well as the increased monthly benefits. So if you paid into Social Security, let's say you paid into a pension, but you also paid into Social Security, then you're not going to qualify. Okay, so the next email is coming from Helen, and Helen says, hello, David. I know someone who will file for Social Security in August this year. They retired last year as a teacher. Will they receive additional benefits due to the Fairness Act or anything else? Okay, so in this situation, Helen, I would need to know more information. So they worked as a school teacher. Did they pay only into a pension and not into Social Security? So do they qualify under the Social Security Fairness Act? If they do qualify under the Social Security Fairness Act, then they've eliminated WEP and GPO, which means that they'll receive their full benefits when it comes to Social Security. What was going on prior to the elimination of WEP and GPO is people were paying into a pension, they weren't contributing to Social Security, and so when they reached the age where they wanted to start collecting Social Security benefits, let's say they qualified, so they paid into a pension, but they also earned their credits when it comes to Social Security, and so they wanted to apply for Social Security benefits. Some of those people, because they were receiving a pension, They were told that you're not going to receive anything when it comes to Social Security because you have this pension and you paid into a pension. Even though you paid into Social Security as well, you're still not going to qualify. And so in this situation, I would need more information to know if they qualify under the elimination of weapon GPO. But if they do qualify under the elimination of weapon GPO, when your friend applies for Social Security benefits, he or she should be able to receive their full benefits. Okay, next email is coming from Denise. Denise says, "Hi, David. Has anyone else mentioned that their Medicare deduction that have already been paid have been taken out of their retro payments they have received? My benefit verification letter explaining my retro payment is showing that payments of January, February, and March of 2025 and October and November of 2024 have had Medicare taken out again. Thank you." Okay, so Denise, in this situation, if they've taken out Medicare twice, then this is something that you need to contact the Social Security Administration about and see if they can rectify that, make the change. I have had some other people that said the same thing, that it looks like they took out Medicare twice. So if that is the case, then I would contact the Social Security Administration and say, look, I already paid it. Why am I paying it again? Okay, next email is coming from Naomi. Naomi says, "Thank you, David, for your great show and interest in helping others. I am a widow of a federal retiree that passed away 2 years ago. When my spouse retired on 1994, he received a federal OPM pension and Social Security was reduced due to WEP. So we had to live with that unjust reduction all these years. The increases in Social Security have only been due to COLA adjustments. At present, as a surviving spouse, I receive a reduced pension, OPM, and has Social Security reduced by WEP. Again, the only increase has been COLA. Yesterday, SSA told me over the phone that I have no rights as his widow under the Fairness Act, that the reduced Social Security amount is imposed to my husband when he started receiving his and cannot be increased to the full amount he was supposed to receive and had worked for with all of the COLAs and adjustments, nor I received any reimbursement or increase adjustment to the Social Security I am receiving under his account. Thank you for your opinion." Okay, so your situation is pretty complicated, and if you've already talked to the Social Security Administration and they've told you one thing, you can appeal the decision, I would imagine, and try to talk to someone else. But looking at your situation where your husband was the one that received the pension and now he's no longer living, I don't know if they could make that adjustment to increase the survivor benefits at this point. But the interesting thing about this is if your husband was still alive, then you would see that increase because his amount would increase, the amount that he's receiving for Social Security benefits, which would mean that your spousal benefits would increase as well. But when it comes to survivor benefits, according to you, according to the person that you talk to, they're saying that you don't qualify. So at this point, I would appeal it and see where you can go with that. So those are the emails that we're going over today. Remember, you can send me an email, david@thetecshow.com. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.